Hello everyone, my name is Bailey. Welcome to your 30-minute yoga class. Today we're going to be working through a stretchy flow. So we're going to move a little bit slower and it's going to be more focused on stretching things out. So if you're sore from a workout, or it's really great first thing in the morning when you're kind of just a little stale, sticky from sleeping, really any time of the day, just to kind of come back into your body and notice how these deep stretches feel as you move through a little bit of movement, not just staying stuck in the stretches. So I really hope that today we can find a little bit of fluidity in our stretching rather than just these stagnant folds that can sometimes honestly be a little boring. So I hope you have fun today. We're going to start in child's pose. So coming onto your mat, bringing your forehead down to the mat. If you want to get into your spine early on, keep your knees as close together as you can so that you can round your spine right over your legs. If you'd like to get more into your hips, big toe mounds to touch, and bring your knees away from one another so that you can crawl right down through the center, forehead to the mat. If you'd rather come out of your shoulders, you can bring your hands alongside your body towards your heels. That's up to you. But sink your hips down towards your heels as much as you can. And if you have bolsters or blocks or anything, you can draw the ground up closer towards your chest by placing them in front of you, even to your forehead if you'd like. So as you're here in child's pose, close your eyes and take a few breaths in and out, just letting your body start to melt into this pose. So if your elbows are off the mat, let them sink down and really start to find this stretch in a passive way. So we don't have to hold on to any tension that we have. Notice it and start to let it fizzle out and away through the pose. Maybe let your breath help you do that. So take a full inhale and then through your exhale, just get heavier into the pose. Fall deeper into child's pose. And then notice any part of your body that feels a little stale or sticky. If there's any part of you that needs to relax a little bit more, send your breath there. Give yourself some time to really allow some stillness in this pose. And if there's any part of your body that's feeling a little discomfort is totally fine. Pain is not what we're looking for. So allowing the differentiation to occur, giving yourself those moments of discomfort, of something that might be a bit challenging for you, but noticing if you're feeling pain that's different. So ease your way out of any shapes today if you notice that creeping in. And sometimes it's really just working through your yoga practice or any other fitness activities and noticing what the difference for you is between discomfort and pain. And once you get that clear definition over time, it becomes a little easier to stay or to push harder because you start to understand what those words mean for you, and that's where gains can start to occur. Oftentimes when we're first starting out, we mistake that discomfort for pain and we leave these poses, or we don't push ourselves far enough in our workout where we're not seeing this threshold occur or these sensations peak in our practices. So giving yourself time to really be honest about what it is that you're experiencing. And if it is discomfort, offer it in. Allow it to occur and let it be a tool for your practice and for your practice off the mat as well. So a couple more breaths here in your child's pose, 3-4 long rounds of breath. Give yourself time to set up for your practice today. And as always, anything that I offer is just a suggestion. So if there's other things that you like doing in your yoga practice, please take those. Modify how you need. Use props if you'd like. Feel free to ignore me, to take my suggestions. I want you to truly be the one in charge today. I'm just here to guide you. Beautiful. So on your next inhale, crawl your fingertips towards the top of your mat and lift your elbows off. So more of an active child's pose. Take a breath in and take a breath out. Slightly lift your forehead off the mat, just by an inch. And then start to walk both of your hands to the right, off the side of your mat. Forehead is lifted. Keep walking your fingers as far over towards the right as you can. You might stack your left hand on top of your right, interlacing your left hand on top. Or you can keep your hands next towards one another. But you're leaning to the left here as your hands are to the right. So we want to find the stretch along the left side of our body. Notice how your inhales, when you take those big, big inhales, you're filling up through your lungs. That's deepening your side stretch. Stay here. Lean to the left. Get heavy in your left hip. Good. So really notice how you can dictate the amount of stretch you feel. And don't worry about what this looks like. Really try to go for what we want it to feel like here. So you're looking for the stretch on the left side of your body. Take one more breath in. Walk your hands back through the center and then all the way over to the left. So lean to the right. You can keep your hands staggered or stack your right hand on top of your left. And I like to keep my forehead lifted because it helps me move my arms over towards the left or the right a little bit more. But that's up to you. I kind of rest my head on my right arm here. But lean to the right. So we're just looking for a stretch along the right side of your body. Notice how when you inhale, that fills up your lungs. It creates more space between each one of your ribs, deepening that side stretch. Beautiful. One more breath in. Start to bring your hands back through the center and crawl all the way out onto your stomach. Legs stretch back behind you. Good. And bring your arms to a T, palms face down. So as you start to squeeze your left heel in towards your glutes, I want you to roll onto the right side of your body. And you're going to bring your left foot back behind you as a little kickstand. Take your left hand, press it down into the mat, and then straighten out your left arm so that you're leaning back onto your right shoulder. Good. So the idea here is to use your whole body to lean back and to get into that right shoulder. If you need more intensity here, you can try to goalpost your right arm. So think of a 90-degree angle here, opening into that right shoulder. Otherwise, keep it straight. Other options are taking your left hand back behind you, reaching for your right hand with your left hand. If you have the mobility here, you can start to bring both of your knees towards the ceiling. So legs sort of how they would be in bridge pose. And I know your head's kind of weird hanging out in space here. If you have a block, you can rest it on it, hold it upright, or let it set down on the mat. So we're just focusing on that shoulder stretch here, this deep, deep twist. And you decide how much of a stretch you get here by how much you lean your body back onto your right shoulder. You can also do this from the wall if you're ever in a place where you can't come down onto the floor. Take another breath in. Good, unravel. Come back through center. Arms are going to come back out to a T and then do the other side. So bend your right leg. Roll onto the left side of your body. And draw that right foot back behind you. So we're leaning into our left shoulder now. Right hand can come down into the mat. And as you straighten out your right arm, you lean back into that left shoulder. Good. Or you find the bind. Right hand comes back behind, reaching around, grabbing onto your left. And you can always draw your left knee up. Again, that's just an option depending on where you are in your practice. But still with the breath that you started with. So noticing this deep, deep shoulder opening here, noticing this stretch. Where do you feel this in your body? Can you offer some more ease to any effort you're experiencing? Good. 2 more rounds of breath. You might lean back further into your shoulder here. And then take your time as you slowly roll back through the center. Good. And then bring your hands right underneath your shoulders. Press into your tabletop. Good. So knees are underneath your hips. Moving into your cats and your cows, drop your belly as you inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, dome and round for your cat pose. Look to your navel. Keep moving with your breath, inhaling into your cow. Exhaling into your cat. Couple more breaths here. Always doming and puffing out through your shoulders across the top of your back. Good, a couple more times. Finding some stillness, finding some hip circles, some figure 8 shapes, anything else that you want to do here that feels nice. Sometimes lifting onto your tiptoes, stretching through the backs of your feet feels good. Make something up. Oh, excuse me, it's allergy season. And then coming back to a little stillness here. Setting up for your thread the needle. So another shoulder stretch here. Reach your right arm high, breathe in. Exhale, sweep it through and come onto that right shoulder. So you're stretching your right arm out long. I'll show you from the other side. And you can press into your hand here as you push back into your shoulder once more. A couple of breaths. You can always step your opposite foot back. Let your toes hover. Find a bind. It's up to you. So staying here for a few more rounds of breath. Roll your heart high. Lean back. Find that place where it feels like you might fall. And then set everything down. Unravel. Reach your right hand back up high. Look up. Set everything down. Tabletop. Good. Left arm reaches this time. Inhale, look high. Exhale, thread through. Keeping your hips stacked over your knees here. Sometimes there's this tendency to sweep them down towards your heels. You want them to stay high as you rest everything down onto the mat. Using your whole left arm as a kickstand here. So press down even into your fingernails of your left hand to really open and get that nice big shoulder stretch. 2 or 3 more breaths. Finding that threshold here and staying through any discomfort that you're feeling. Good, unravel. Left hand reaches back up high. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale. Start to walk your fingers back towards your body, kneeling mountain pose. So I'm going to show you from this angle. You can stay where you are. So you're going to step your right foot out to the side here. And notice how my pinky toe is not pointing up. It's flat down on the mat here. And you want your foot in line with your knee, right? So not way up in front, not way back, just right in line. Arms reach up overhead. Breathe in. Right hand's going to come down along your right leg. Reach up and over. Nice big side stretch. Rather than your torso melting towards the mat, lean back and roll your heart high. Think about that left arm in line with your bicep. Full breath in. Bigger stretch. Good, inhale. Exhale. Take your time. Arms reach up. Breathe in. Let your shoulders roll from your ears. And then bring your left hand down. So you can bring your left hand to a block if you have one. Imagine that I do right here. Reaching your right arm up and over. Or you can come all the way down. You can come onto fingertips. You can come flat onto the palm of your hand. Or you may even make a fist. Whatever feels good for you. But press into the pinky toe side of your right foot. Notice if it started to lift again. Nice long line of energy from the right side of your right foot all the way along your leg into the side of your body. And through your fingertips. One last breath. Slowly come back up. Arms reach. And as you bring your hands to your hips, just start to draw that right knee underneath your right hip and set your left leg out to the side. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Left foot in line with your right knee. Press into the pinky toe side of your left foot. Inhale, reach. Left hand comes along your left leg. Reach towards the other wall. Good. Again, notice that side stretch. Lean back. Roll your heart towards the ceiling. Look up. You might try to look back behind you. Nice big side stretch. Breathe in. Breathe out. Little to no weight is in that left hand there. It's just there for show. Come back up on your inhale. Other side. Right fingertips come down. Left arm reaches up and over. Lean back, look high. Stretch for the side wall. This is our gate pose. Good inhale. Exhale. One more breath. And take your time as you come back up, arms reach, hands to your hips, back into your tabletop, reset. Take a big breath in. Curl your toes, downward facing dog. Send your hips up, back. Start to pedal out here. Let your shoulders melt from your ears as you let your heels sink into the mat. Bending your knees as much as you need to so that your torso melts towards your thighs. Take a couple more breaths in and out here. Noticing what it feels like to be inverted. Good inhale. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands, ragdoll. Interlace your hands at your low back. Let your arms come overhead, getting into your shoulders again. Really let your arms fall overhead. Bend your knees as much as you need to here. Hang, hips stacked over your heels. Take another breath in. Just let everything soften. Your neck especially, your head hangs. Find some heaviness. Notice gravity. Beautiful. One more breath in. Release your bind. Ground down through your feet. Inhale, reach up, mountain pose. Big stretch. Start to grab onto your left wrist with your right hand and reach over towards the right. So keep your hips stacked right over your ankles. Good. Breathe into the right, left side of your body as you stretch to the right. Take another breath in. Come back through center and switch. Grab onto your right wrist with your left hand and pull that right arm to the left as you lean and stretch. Good. Take another breath in. Bigger stretch. Come back up. Inhale. Forward fold. Exhale. Swan dive down. Halfway lift. Step your left foot back. Low lunge. Lower that left knee onto the mat. So if anytime you're feeling like your knees are a little bit uncomfortable, you can roll your mats lengthwise. Add an extra layer of cushion under your knee. If you have any kind of pillow, bolster, blanket, you can roll that under your knee as well. Hands can come to your blocks right here if you want to come up a little higher. Or you can bring your hands towards that right knee. Notice though, if there's this tendency to clench and hold everything upright, there's nothing wrong with that. That's just a different way to experience the pose. You might try and see what it feels like to settle, let your pelvis melt down towards the mat, still keeping that right knee stacked over your ankle. But there's this downward motion as you let your hips sink, but your spine is still nice and long, crown reaching for the ceiling. Take a breath here. Shoulders melt as you exhale. Full breath in. Frame your right foot. Shift your hips back, half split, keeping your hip stacked over your left knee. It's a different stretch to draw that hip back and sit down. This is what we're looking for today. Hips stacked over your left knee. If you need more intensity here, this is when you draw your right foot towards the top of your mat and you can start to work your way into a split. Folding or staying upright. If you're folding, I want you to untuck your chin and lead with your heart. Melt with a long spine. Take a breath in. Fold a little further, breath out. Crawl back towards the top of your mat. Low lunge. Walk your hands to the inside of your right foot. Lizard lunge. You can keep that knee squeezing in towards your shoulder, or you can come onto some forearms. You might bring forearms to blocks. Another option is to roll onto the pinky toe side of your right foot and open your knee to the side. Breathe in, breathe out. Optional quad stretch here. Hug your left heel into your glutes and reach your right hand back, right? So if you can't quite catch that foot, no big deal. Just keep your foot down and take a stretch. You might take that anyways if you prefer to bypass this quad stretch. It's up to you. Pressing into your left hand, nice straight arm, open your heart, lean back, pull that foot in, and then softly release. Reframe your right foot, lift off of your left knee, find your down dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Walk your feet towards your hands, halfway lift, nice long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up, mountain pose. Exhale, swan dive back down. All the breath comes out as you fold. Halfway lift. This time step your right foot back, other side, low lunge. lowering down, setting up at first. So choosing, if you want your hands to be on some blocks here, that might feel nice. You can keep your hands down on the mat. You can keep your toes curled or come onto the top of your foot. All of these things are just optional. You might see people doing them in different ways. That's totally fine. Coming up onto that left thigh, sinking your pelvis down as you lengthen. Good. Take a full breath in. Soften your shoulders, sink. Spine lengthens. Settle in. Good. Take one more breath. Start to frame your left foot. Find your half splits. Peeling your left toes off the mat. Lengthening your spine, folding, leading with your heart, right? So you want to fold with long spines. If your chin is tucked and you're rounding, looking towards your navel, you're not going to get as much of a stretch. So you want to lengthen, look past your left foot, fold with your chest. Keep your spine long. Shift that right hip back, left hip goes, right hip forward, left hip back a little bit. And take 2 more breaths. Sometimes it's nice to inhale yourself up and out of a pose, and then exhale yourself back in, just softly, subtly moving up and down with your breath, holding yourself accountable to your breath. Rock back forward, low lunge at first. Then move into lizard. Both of your hands come to the inside of your left foot. Walk your left foot to the side of your mat to give yourself some space here. Take your time, settle in, moving into any variations that you like. This side might be completely different. That's okay. Swivel your hips. Take any modifications or variations that you need. 2 more breaths. If you want the quad stretch, take it. Squeeze your right heel in and reach your left hand back. You can do this from your forearm or from your hand here. But whatever you're doing, whatever's on the mat, press it down so that you can open your heart, lean back, find a twist and a quad stretch. 1 more breath in. Release your foot if you have it. Reframe your left foot. Send your left foot back, high plank this time. Shoulders over your wrists. Breathe in. Exhale, lower down for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands under your shoulders. Press into the tops of your feet. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower down. Come back up. Breathe in, cobra pose. Heart comes through. Exhale, lower down. 1 more time. Breathe in. Exhale, child's pose. Hips up and back. Melt your forehead to the mat, arms nice and long. Breathe in, breathe out. Start to walk your fingers towards your body here as you come upright and shifting your hips over to the sides. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Starting to draw your left foot somewhere along your right thigh. So tree shape. Good. So from here, arms reach, flex those right toes back. Exhale, fold. So you can also just bring your hands towards your thigh as you fold here. You don't have to reach for your toes. You can bring your hands back behind you to kind of shift yourself forward, right? The goal does not have to be reaching towards your toes. If you are, I want you to lengthen first as you inhale. Exhale, fold, right? So we're untucking our chin, look past our foot, breathe in. Exhale, fold. So this might not be a visible thing for you, right? The lengthening and the folding, it might be more energetic. Still keep that same fluidity. 2 more breaths here. Finding a deeper fold. Maybe that just means finding some ease where you stay. Come back up on your next inhale and switch sides. Straighten out your left leg, draw your right foot somewhere along your left leg. Arms reach, inhale, flex your left toes back. Exhale, forward fold. Hands can go back behind, shift your chest forward, or reach, dive down. So the goal is not our toes, the goal is to keep our spine long, find length, and fold forward. Every exhale, there's a little less air in your lungs, so there's a little more space to fold. As much as you press your toes back towards your body here, the more you're gonna find that quad, that hamstring stretch in the back of your leg. So notice when you point your toes, do you find some ease? Flex them back if you want that hamstring stretch. Good. Nice and slowly, come all the way back up and start to bring your feet towards one another to touch here for butterfly. If you have blocks and your feet are your knees are kind of hanging out up high and it's uncomfortable, bring blocks right underneath your knees at any level, okay? And you can also hug your heels in really close to your body if you'd like, or bring them further away, creating a larger diamond shape. It doesn't matter which shape you take, it's just what's more comfortable for you. So if you have already found this stretch here and you're like, whoa, hey, it's happening, stay. If you need more, start to shift forward and fold, right? You might fold all the way down, or you can come up, just kind of shift forward. The idea is to just find your threshold, find this place where, in this stretch where you hover that discomfort, but we're not seeking this pain, right? You want to let ease take you into your thresholds, not effort. So it's this place where both exist because we're allowing that discomfort, but we're also letting ease drive. And when we do that, that's when we get into our ego work, right? That's when we get into the less is more. What are we seeking? Why are we sensation seeking? And can we just let gravity do that for us? Come back up on your inhale. Good. Start to shift your legs right back around in front of you. Feet come flat to the mat and start to lower all the way down, one vertebra at a time, nice and slowly. Pull your knees in, give yourself a little squeeze. Take a happy baby. Soles of your feet come to the ceiling as you grab onto your feet, pull down. You can stay here. You can start to straighten out one leg or the other, bringing your tailbone flat to the mat. Good. One more breath in. Hug your knees to your chest. Find some supine twists. Even out the quality, the texture of your breath. Gaze to the left. Open through your heart here. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more round of breath on this side, and take your time as you bring your knees back in through center. Reposition your hips to the center of your mat and let your knees fall to the left, gazing to the right. Open across your chest. Notice the twist here, but also notice the heart opener. One last round. Knees come into your chest. Start to let everything stretch out, full body stretch. Feet flop out to the sides. Take up a lot of space on your mat. Arms come overhead, palms face up. Nice big starfish shape. Close your eyes here. Relax. Notice where you're holding on to tension. And see if you can't relax those places 3 times more. Staying here in your Shavasana pose, in your final resting pose with your eyes closed. Letting your practice arrive and land in your body. Staying here to integrate for as long as you need. Noticing how it feels to just be still. And witnessing any need to jump to the next thought, to jump to the next item on the to-do list, that anticipation. Can the next item on the to-do list be this? Can it be this moment right now? Can you let this be your priority? All you have left to do is breathe. Giving yourself at least 5 more minutes of stillness and silence, letting this be sacred and special for you.